The week-long multi-state manhunt finally ending after that suspect was identified and tracked down to a self-storage facility in New Hampshire. Police finding his body inside an empty unit with an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. But now new questions concerning a motive and how the two deadly shootings are tied together.
The FBI confirming there was a link between the suspect and the MIT professor.
It is true that Mr. Valente was a physics student. Also, we know that the MIT, the victim there, was in that discipline as well.
Did he go to school with the professor?
It is believed that in Lisbon, that those two individuals attended the same university in Portugal.
Fox team coverage, Paul Mauro in Providence, Rhode Island, but first Nate Foy in Salem, New Hampshire, where the suspect's body was found. Hi, Nate.
Hey, Dana, good morning. So the Providence mayor said this morning that investigators still have more work to do to determine a motive. You mentioned the connection with the MIT professor from Portugal. I'd say there's more questions regarding the attack at Brown University, but here is what we do know. The storage facility behind me in New Hampshire is where this multi-state manhunt ended, and we're not allowed to go to the storage unit itself. However, we do have a live camera that can show you as close as we can get to it. So just beyond where you can see right now is where investigators say Claudio Neves-Valente turned his gun on himself after murdering 3 people and injuring 9.
He killed himself inside the storage unit, and the firearms were found at his in the area of his thigh and in the area of his feet. We are 100% confident that this is our target. And that this case is closed from a perspective of pursuing people involved.
Dana, Neves-Valente is from Portugal. He arrived in the country on a student visa, and he was a lawful permanent resident. Before coming to the United States, he went to school in Lisbon, Portugal, with the MIT professor that he's accused of murdering. Investigators say he killed Nuno Loureiro at his home outside of Boston after the Brown attack. Neves-Valente went to Brown University himself in the early 2000s. Again, that's where he's accused of murdering 2 students and injuring 9 others. Authorities say a homeless man cracked the case wide open when he helped lead investigators to the suspect's rental car. Financial records then directed them to this storage unit. The suspect's car was towed away with evidence inside the car that they took out as they were processing the crime scene. But they had a lot of challenges, investigators did, Dana, because after the MIT attack, investigators say that the suspect switched the plates on the rental car, and then he also used multiple SIM cards that made it more difficult to track his location. We'll send it back to you.
Okay, thank you so much.
So Nate is there in Salem, New Hampshire, less than 100 miles to the south. Paul Mauro is still in Providence, Rhode Island. So 3 different states involved here, Paul. Give us your top line analysis. You know, former investigator, NYPD, you've been through a lot of these stories. Find the common thread in this one if you can.
All right, let's go to motive. Right now, the most that we have is, it seems to me, to be some bitter, blind sort of striking out at places that he blamed and people that he was perhaps jealous of. It looks to me like this is a guy who hit a portion of his life, a midlife, that he started realizing that a lot of what he expected of himself wasn't going to happen. He goes back to this issue of this MIT professor that he likely had a connection of some sort to in Portugal. He reportedly lost a job in Portugal. Maybe he blamed this guy. But the whole thing feels to me like a sort of petulant sort of revenge tour by a guy who was leading a slipping down life. And I'm sorry to give it such a prosaic motive, because when you see something so horrible, you expect there to be more. But unfortunately, very often when we get these things, you know, we had this in terrorism cases and things like that, stalking cases, very often it comes down to ground level things where you just shake your head and say, boy, you thought that was the solution? And I fear that at the end of the day, that might be all we get.
I want to play for you something from the Providence mayor. He was on CNN this morning talking about what the city needs to do.
I know Brown's going to do it, and on my responsibility on behalf of the city, we're going to do a full and complete analysis to think about how we can continue to do better to keep our city safe. Things like this have never happened before, and hopefully never will again, but we're always seeking to do better.
So that's the city. I've known you for many years. I know that you pay a lot of attention to campus crime. What do you think Brown or MIT needs to do? Well, MIT wasn't on the campus. What do you think Brown needs to do?
So Brown, unfortunately for them, is going to become representative of higher education here because this is not a unique circumstance. They really let their security posture slip. These higher education institutions, they don't even have the defenses against a school shooter that we see these days in high school and grammar schools. Furthermore, there is something called the Cleary Report, which is mandated by Congress that colleges have to put out relative to their crime numbers. Now, I got to go to something that is just really discomforting. In 2023, Brown reported in their Cleary Report 20 rapes on campus. 20 rapes at one school on campus. I don't think a lot of the public knows that these Cleary reports are out there. But when you consider that you have that level of criminality in 1 year, you got to say to yourself, where were the better security protocols? Where was the synchronization between the campus police and Providence PD? My understanding is that's not a new issue up here. They better take a hard look at their protocols in response to a crisis, and they better figure out how to get on the same page because it's a relatively small town. And the idea that they had to build this thing from the ground up when it happened, and I don't care what they say, that had to happen because we saw what happened over the weekend. There was some slippage at the edges of the task force here relative to that lead that took them to Coventry. They lost valuable time.
Paul, you also had the homeless man was living in the building and taking shelter there at that building, and they didn't know.
Yeah, and you know, that goes to something we were talking about all week, where we were saying it doesn't have to necessarily be something as high level as a school shooting, but with no security, what are you asking for? You're asking for burglaries. You're asking for people that are just going to trespass on the grounds. It can be much more commonplace and average harassment that you're asking for. And in this case, turns out the homeless guy ends up being the hero. But the fact that he could live in the basement of this place and apparently nobody knew just goes to what was going on here.
Yeah. Paul, thank you. I don't see any press conferences on the schedule. Are there any, yes or no?
I haven't heard that. I think after the one last night, you know, that might be it for a while.
Wow, okay, they put a lid on it, so our
Thanks for all you did this week, and to Nate and Brian as well.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.